total control over us. I won't stay dead. Next time I'll do the same to you. I'll kill you. And it goes on and on. Good old game of war, pawn against pawn. Stopping the bad guys. While somewhere, some thing sits back and laughs. And starts it all over again.
This time, those who hate and fight must stop themselves, Doctor. Otherwise, it is not stopped.
I am your wife. I'm a Klingon. Lie for him. Listen to Kirk. He is telling the truth.
Be a pawn. Be a toy. Be a good soldier that never questions orders.
Yep. That's it. That's it in a nutshell, baby. That's it in a nutshell. Yeah, it's hard not to follow. You know what I mean? Why are you here? Why are we here? Right? Why, you, my friends? Why do you ask me to keep sending out the message of truth? Because it's also a message of hope, of reality, of love, and of reason. That's what these messages are. How if anybody, just maybe one or two of the hate mongers, if one is just watching this video, watching any of my videos, if there's anybody out there in the government who wants to find out how we can solve this problem, if you don't watch any of our videos, watch this one. Because that is the kind of thing that we're up against, right? This is the kind of thing that we as a human race have been dealing with for a millennium. You know, Christ and Buddha didn't want you to follow them. They didn't want that. Christ said, if you don't believe in me, believe in the things that I do. The things that I do. How I live. You know? Buddha said, and I'm paraphrasing here, not a man's foes or a man's not a man's foes or his actions causes how a man thinks. How we think isn't somebody else's problem. It's not my enemy's problems. It's not my foe's problems how I think. It's my problem. You see what I'm saying? I have to find solutions to the problems on what's going on in here. If I was at a meeting the other day about non-abstinence recovery, where we talked about, you know, how people, how people are able to be in recovery, how people, I just finished doing some cardio, so I had to let that out, sorry. But how people in recovery, okay, they could be in recovery and not be totally abstinent. This is something I just learned. And it was quite profound. And see, when you watch these videos, I learn and understand and get a better sense of what is out there in real time. So I said in one of my other videos that, you know, you had to be a clear mind, you have to get off of drugs and alcohol. But I just learned that total abstinence isn't enough. Quality of life is the most important thing. How am I in control of my thoughts? Do my thoughts filter? Can I filter out those prejudices and those biases and those kind of things, and still go out and have a sip of a beer or something like that? I haven't had one in a while, but if a good friend comes up to me and says, "Hey, B, come on, let's go have a beer." I don't drink, but I would go have one. That's not being totally abstinent, right? So, see, I'm learning to reevaluate, re-examine my thoughts on what it is to have a clear mind. As long as my quality of life is good, I can assess that I can make clear and concise decisions. There is something that eats away at a person when they hate. There is something that is, for all intents and purposes, lacking in that person's life. And when you come across someone who says, "I'm going to fix your problems, I'm going to give rise to the voice of your frustration," be careful what you follow in that person. Our democracy does not need a Democratic Party and a Republican Party. We all should be independent. Right? This goes a long way for people to say, "You know what? Yeah, I don't fully agree with the Democrats, but man, what the Republicans got? Boy, I can't even go there at all." So what happens? You get one party in there, the pendulum swings too far to one side, and what happens? You get what we got the last 4 years. And now we're all sitting back at a sigh of relief. Okay, it's over. No, it's not. The midterms are coming, and we have to all be up here with it. Because I was watching CNN the other day. This is old head. I forgot his name, but the next video I'll tell you, because he comes on pretty often. He hit the nail right on the head with a hammer of truth, man. He said that the Republican, and I said this before, but he piggybacked that and expound on it. He said the Republican Party can't give up on these things that have manifested in their party, because it's an energy, and that energy fuels their ability to stay in power. And we already talked about what power is, the illusion of power. And if we all were independent, if we all just said, "Hey, look, I'm going to vote on how this will help me at the grassroots level. How is this? Who can I send into government that can help me, help my neighbor, black and white, because that's what we're living in? You know what I mean? What can I send? What kind of person can I send? Why do they have to be Democrat or Republican? Why can't they be independent? You know what I mean? Why can't they be partly progressive? We might need progressive here. And we might need a Democratic here. And we might need some Republican here. Case in point. Okay, we might need just a straight Democrat. who could say, in this pocket of my state, they require, these kind of jobs and a union. And then the independent right here said, or progressive right here, well, these kind of people are having problems with drugs and alcohol and homelessness and these kind of things. So we need to do a little more progressive work here. And then over here in this part of the state, well, these people are doing pretty good, and they could, as the people in that surrounding area, they could go out and get a job and work a little harder, and that's Republican. You see, this is how we need to reimagine our government. This is how we need to reimagine our thinking. Give up on I'm following this and I'm following that and Look, man, when I tell you to read Erich Fromm, Escape from Freedom, you're escaping from control. You're escaping from them telling you that you have to be on one side or the other. Because you don't. You don't have to be on one side or the other. You know what I mean? You have to be on the side of truth. You have to be on the side of understanding and reassessing your own thoughts in real time. And as you do that, our country will be not only a better country, but a more conscientious country on everybody's feelings. If I can't help this man stop hating me because he is hungry or he feels unrepresented in our voice in Congress, because he feels the encroachment of these black and brown people coming around. If I can't help him understand that, look, man, ain't nobody trying to take nothing from you. You can still have your farm. You can still have your, this, that, and the other thing. Whatever it is that you want to do, go out there in the back and shoot and have your gun and everything. If I can't help him understand that his life is cool where he does, long as he do it there and he's not hurting anyone, go be a hillbilly. Go be a redneck. With my blessings. I'll see you next time.